What is up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Today we are checking out a Michael Tuttle tuned ST. Actually, this one's called a worn tuned ST because it's got a little bit of relicking in it. Obviously, it's a telly-shaped guitar. If you don't know who Michael Tuttle is, I'll give you a really quick history. I believe he built his first guitar in 1980. I think he started working professionally in 93. Building professionally, and then I think he started Tuttle Guitars in 2003. And I had heard his name actually through Garage Guitars and Valley Arts Guitars. So he's got a lot of history as a builder. He's also a great guitar player. He used to play professionally before he started just building guitars for a living. So that's a little bit. I mean, you can go to the website and find out more about the man himself. Let's get into the specs on this guitar. The body is alder. The neck is obviously maple. It's a C-shaped neck. I would say it's got a little bit more shoulder than the average classic C-shaped neck, but it feels really, really great. The frets are some of the finest frets I've ever seen on a guitar, just being honest. The fretwork is just flawless. You know what? On the spec sheet, see, I'm just not smart enough for this. They are 0.104 by 0.047. I'm assuming that is the width and height of the frets. Me no know. They feel like, or I can compare them to like a vintage fret, but maybe a little wider and a little bit taller, and just highly, highly polished, highly tuned, really, really nice frets. The tuners are hip shot tuners. I know I'm kind of jumping around. You know what? Let me look at the specs. For the pickups, the neck pickup is a custom mini, which is made by Michael Tuttle. And the humbucker is also a Tuttle, and it's called the PD humbucker. The paint option on the neck on this guitar is vintage tint. It is satin. It almost feels like it's just about raw wood. It really feels great. You know, pickguard is 3-ply mint. That's stuff you guys can all see. It's got a 3-way switch on it. Oh, the bridge is also made by Michael, and what's he call it? Yeah, Tuttle Vintage S. And this is a trem bridge, and it's funny because when I first saw this guitar, when I got it out of the case, I was like, man, who puts a tremolo on a guitar like this? That's like putting a Floyd Rose on a Stradivarius. And then I got it out of the case and did this, and I no longer cared. On the back, he's got 4 springs on it. This isn't my guitar. If it were my guitar, I would switch it to 3 springs. This bridge floats a little bit. I would have it float just a little bit more, but it feels great. It's a 6 screw bridge. This guitar just acoustically rings killer. Michael's pickups sound great. The finish, if I didn't say, maybe I did, is shoreline gold, and I'm a terrible photographer, so this is really hard. This guitar has been very hard for me to capture in its true color, but it's shoreline gold. It's not gold like a sparkle gold or a fire mist gold. Shoreline, it tends to be kind of a lighter, I guess, gold, for lack of a better way to put it. Okay, yada, yada, yada. So I'll start on the neck position pickup, which is it almost, I mean, it sounds closer to a single coil, but fatter than that, because it looks like a mini hum, but it really, just sounds fabulous. It's got a vintage thing to it. Feels really good. It's got a little bit of squish to it. Really great sounding. Now the back position humbucker balances really nicely. It's got kind of a fat mid to it. It feels really great. And then the center position, obviously. Let me do this. Let me switch to a amp that's got a little bit more breakup. Matter of fact, I'll use the amp I used for the tune. So you can hear the pickups with a little bit of dirt on them. Now that's my REVV 740 amp, the green channel, which is the crunch channel. So for that sound, all I did was I turned on a Flint reverb. And I used the delay that was in the television set. Wow, I'm going to throw out my groin. Nice job, Shawn, putting the pedal board where you could get to it. Back humbucker. Middle position sounded beautiful too. And actually what I did for that is I turned on the trem and the verb on the Flint, and that's how I got this sound. So I did that all on that amp. That's how the guitar, or these pickups, sound with slightly broken things. The solo tone, slightly broken things? That sounds weird. The solo tone is my Friedman BE100 Deluxe channel 2. Let me switch to that, and I'll let you hear the pickups with a little bit more kind of overdrive. And what I was really impressed with, and I thought was just going to tank, I'm like, oh man, I'm going to throw it to the neck position and it's not going to be right because I dialed it so much for the bridge position pickup. But when I threw it to the neck, it sounded great. And just felt really good. So my point being, these pickups, you can throw them back and forth on, you know, a clean tone, solo tone, crunch tone, and they balance and blend really, really nicely. And of course the tremolo comes back perfectly in tune. Let me switch back to the first amp I was on, my really clean amp, which is my Bella. That's where I started. So that is the Michael Tuttle worn tuned ST. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time.